It is a beautiful day in the neighborhood, and I'm going to be outside. Good morning, it's Barbara. It is gorgeous out here today. Not a cloud in the sky. And I'm so glad you could join me. Thank you so much for coming. Yesterday was kind of a wonderful, crazy day. We had our Zoom and it was so much fun. It was so much fun. I commented that Dennis was going to be not giving me a hard time, but commenting on how loud I was and everything. And I'm upstairs in a closed room because I was laughing and laughing. But I got to tell you, when I came down and I was telling Dennis my chest hurt from my accident. Because I laughed so much. OMG. Our range of topics. Thank you everyone who came. We had such a lovely group. And, you know, thank you everyone. It was really great. And before I forget, August 20th is the date of the next Zoom craft together. Saturday, August 20th. Anyway, the range of topics was very, very wide, as it always is. Always is. I mean, we started with pom-poms, and we do actually talk about fiber crafts. But in the end, Aquilla came late and said, oh, my hair is wet. I just got back from the roller rink, and we started talking about roller skating. And Christy was there, and my son-in-law Rich was in the background, and I don't know whose idea it was, but anyway, we started talking about roller derby names. And I'm like, there's got to be a way to pick a roller derby name like you pick a porn name, right? And Megan's like, how do you pick a porn name? Well, I don't know. You know, a porn name is like your first pet and the name of the street you lived on when you were a kid. So you know, or whenever. So I would, you know, I have lots of choices because we had pets, but I would have been Uni Gagan Irvin. My cat's name was Uni Gagan. But anyway, Christy looked up how, you know, some formula for roller derby names. And the first place she found was obviously for men, because I don't remember, I didn't write anything down till later, but anyway, my name was something like, I don't remember the first name, but my last name was Lugnut. And I'm like, Lugnut? And Leslie, I don't remember her first name, but her last name was Crankshaft. So she was somebody Crankshaft. She was actually pretty happy with her name. I was not happy with Lugnut. And I forget who it was, but somebody was Mighty Piston. And I'm like, no. These are all men names. We need women names. So she found another one, which took the date of the month that you were born and the last letter of your last name. And I ended up being Atomic Wrecking Ball. Christy was Wicked Vixen. We had quite a few people who were in the acid family. And I don't remember the first names, including Dennis, because R at the end of your name made your last name acid. So anyway, we laughed and laughed. It was very, very funny. Not everybody wanted to know what their name was, and I don't blame them. But we laughed and laughed, and I didn't realize how much till I got downstairs and realized that my chest hurt. But it was a really lovely session. Thank you everyone who came. It was so much fun. So much fun. August 20th. Mark your calendar. When we meet again. And thank you again to Valerie, who is our hostess with the mostest and takes care of us. Thank you so much. And yeah. So I guess I'll do it first. I got hacked on my Facebook account. So anybody who gets a messenger message from me that says, oh, I'm not sure, I think you might know this person or something like that with a link, do not attempt to open that, because you can't open it. I couldn't open the link, but I still got hacked. So I had a couple people say, oh, but I couldn't open it, so it's okay. It's not okay. I couldn't open it either, but I got hacked. And it was very frustrating because I could see in my messages, my out messages, all these messages going out. It just went through all my friends on Facebook and messaged them with this hack. So I apologize. I blame Tom Harper. He's the guy I used to work with. His is the one that I opened. It's a hack. I'm like, oh, well, how are you? So, but the weird thing about the hack was I could see all these messages going out. And so I was going to reply to each of those saying, don't open this, it's a hack. And I couldn't. Each one that I tried to say that wouldn't send. So there was something about the hack that kept me from being able to inform everybody to delete that message. So that was kind of frustrating. But the silver lining is that I've been having conversations with people I haven't been having conversations with in a long time, because they'll say, Barb, I couldn't open this, who is it? I couldn't open the link. And I'd be saying, I'm so sorry, I was hacked. And then we'd have a conversation. So that was fun. And my niece called me. So the silver lining of this pain in the neck for everybody on my friends list turned out to be kind of nice. So I had several nice conversations. And I like that. So that was the good part. I'm still having them this morning. I'm so sorry. I did post on Instagram this morning. It didn't occur to me to do it last night that I was hacked, so don't open it. So maybe that'll help. But I talked to several friends who, texted, messaged with several friends who I haven't heard from in a long time. So that's a good thing. There you go. Anyway, the other fun thing was that I got to watch Leslie's vlog and Aquilla. I watched Aquilla. And on Leslie's vlog, she said, oh no, Rebecca of the Mean Girls has a podcast out. And I'm not getting notifications, and I'm subscribed to too many things, and so I didn't realize she had a podcast out. So I was very happy to get that information. So I watched Rebecca's podcast. Now, Stephanie wasn't interested or couldn't get together, or sounded like she thought maybe she didn't want to do it, and Rebecca did, so she did it. It was so good to see her. Anyway, so the Mean Girls knit on YouTube, if you want to see Rebecca. Her hair's all gray, not like mine. I mean, it's got a lot of gray in it. So yeah, I don't know if she stopped dyeing it or she dyed it gray or what, but she looked good. Anyway. And it's really hard for people, I'm sure, to go from having a partner in their podcast to doing it all by themselves. So bravo to her. She was very brave. And she did a great job. And, you always know They always know when someone's, you know, when it's a good podcast when you're like favoriting things. She showed and she's so funny because she doesn't wear her knitwear. I wish I was her size. I would volunteer. But anyway, she showed a very interesting sweater that she used to do with her Advent yarns. And, you know, Advent yarns, Megan and I are going to be exchanging an Advent again this year. And I ordered an Advent from Benta of Arctic Craft Knits. And so I'm going to have Advents. And if I have my mojo back, which maybe that could happen, I'm thinking I might make this sweater because the sweater has all kinds of stripes and all the stripes are like different textures. It's just a really gorgeous sweater. It was called the Vulcan sweater. And I'll try to link it below. I was very grateful that she had linked it below because when I searched for it in Ravelry, I didn't come up with it. So I'll try to remember to link it below in case you're interested. But I'm like, okay, I almost bought it. I'm like, you don't have to buy it now. Just favorite it so you can find it. I put it in my queue. So I can find it when I need it. But it looked really interesting. Anyway, I was glad to see her. So it felt like a day of spending wonderful time with wonderful people and interacting on Messenger a little bit. And yeah, so that was what I did yesterday. I peopled yesterday. And I worked on my magic socks because that's the only thing I had handy. But yeah, but I did print the Penguano pattern again because I couldn't find my fancy all color one, so I printed it in black and white. So I'm getting ready to organize my yarns for my Penguano. And it did just occur to me that I could get my forest bark out. Now's the time. By the time it gets cold, it'll be done. This sweater is made out of dishcloth cotton. Sugar and cream, one of those, you know, that I got at Joann's. And it's the first sweater I ever made. Absolutely the first sweater I ever made. I do not remember what the pattern is, but it's got this, I don't know if you can see that it's got just a pearl stripe going across, and it's made in pieces. I didn't even remember that. It's made in pieces. I've got side seams, really poorly stitched together side seams. But I don't wear it very often. Because for a long time I wasn't wearing sleeveless because my arms are flappy and, you know. But I'm wearing sleeveless these days. I don't care. Oh. I'm hiccuping and it hurts. So I was like, oh, I'll wear this. And I think of it as a turtleneck. I mean, it's got a high neck, but it's not a turtleneck. Well, I don't know what you want to call it. Mock turtle, maybe. But anyway, it's perfect for out here now. And I'm like, oh, I'm wearing this. And I'll tell you the truth. It's very comfortable. You could use, who knew you could? Well, I didn't know any better. I'd never been to a yarn shop. I only was buying from Joann's, and I hadn't bought anything online. So Joann's and Michael's were my source for yarn when I started. And yeah. not long after I started, I went to the yarn shop in the Outer Banks, which is the one that inspired me to start knitting in the first place, Knitting Addiction. So I did buy yarn there for my first wool sweater, which I started while we were in Nag's Head that same year. But this is my first sweater. And I wish I remembered the name of the pattern, because it's actually a really nice pattern. It's just long. It just has just bind off the stockinette at the bottom and at the neck. So it just has the stockinette roll as it's finishing. Same with the sleeves. There's no edging on it at all. But anyway, I found this in my drawer. I'm like, oh, I haven't worn that in forever. So I thought I'd wear it and show it to you and not tell you what the design is, because I don't know. And I'm not sure if I even knew about Ravelry when I made this. Yeah. So I'm not sure where I got the pattern. Yeah. Well, I could rummage in my patterns on Ravelry and see if I find it, but I doubt it, because I'm sure I wasn't using Ravelry at the time. Anyway, so please don't try to click on a link. You know, people are like, well, I couldn't get in the link, so I think I'm okay. I'm like, no, I couldn't get in the link either. Look what happened. So just delete it. Just delete it. I will not send a link to anybody in the near future on Messenger. So, and it certainly won't say this is, maybe is this someone you know, or something like that. So anyway, I feel bad, but one friend of mine, John Hall, who I worked with, he replied, Heckola. I'm like, yep, I got it from Tom Harper. He's like, Tom Harper was his good friend at work. It's probably still his good friend. In fact, that's probably why he knew it was hacked, because he got it from Tom. Anyway, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. All right, I'm babbling now. Please take good care of yourselves. Oh, I'm going to be on my deck today. Oh, Aura's coming for dinner. Dennis is making us pork chops. That'll be fun. I will see you tomorrow. Please, please take good care of yourselves. Please stay safe and stay sane.